Hello and welcome. Today I'm reading from Politically Correct Bedtime Stories. These were written by James Finn Garner in 1994. If you enjoy fairy tales and you're in need of a chuckle or a laugh, I highly recommend purchasing this book. He also has two other books in the series that are equally funny and enjoyable. Today I'm reading Rumplestiltskin. I'll also leave a link, and I can never remember which side the cards come up, to the other stories I've read from this book. Rumplestiltskin. Long ago, in a kingdom far away, there lived a miller who was very economically disadvantaged. This miller shared his humble dwelling with his only daughter, an independent young woman named Esmeralda. Now the miller was very ashamed of his poverty, rather than angry at the economic system that had marginalized him, and was always searching for a way to get rich quick. If only I could get my daughter to marry a rich man, he mused in a sexist and archaic way. She'll be fulfilled, and I'll never have to work another day in my life. To this shabby end he had an inspiration. He would start a rumor that his daughter was able to spin common barnyard straw into pure gold. With this untruth, he'd be able to attract the attention of many rich men and marry off Esmeralda. The rumor spread through the kingdom in a manner that just happened to be like wildfire, and soon reached the prince. As greedy and gullible as most men of his station, he believed the rumor and invited Esmeralda to his castle for a May Day festival. But when she arrived, he had her thrown into a dungeon filled with straw and ordered her to spin it into gold. Locked in the dungeon, fearing for her life, Esmeralda sat on the floor and wept. Never had the exploitiveness of the patriarchy been made so apparent to her. As she cried, a diminutive man in a funny hat appeared in the dungeon. "Why are you crying, my dear?" he asked. Esmeralda was startled, but answered him. "The prince has ordered me to spin all this straw into gold." "But why are you crying?" he asked again. "Because it can't be done. What are you, specially abled or something?" The differently statured man laughed and said, "Dearie, you're thinking too much with the left side of your brain, you are. But you are in luck. I will show you how to perform this task, yes? But first you must promise to give me what I want in return." As I'm reading this, I'm thinking of the series Once Upon a Time and the character Rumpelstiltskin and how all that played out. So if you see me kind of giggling, that's part of it. The name Esmeralda is also cracking me up because there was a running joke at the one school I worked at where, of course, they called me Mrs. Last Name. My actual name is Elaine, and of course, students are always, "What's your first name? What's your first name?" So I told them it was Esmeralda. I don't know, maybe I was thinking of Rumpelstiltskin when I came up with that one. With no alternative, Esmeralda gave her assent. To turn the straw into gold, they took it to a nearby farmers' cooperative, where it was used to thatch an old roof. With a drier home, the farmers became healthier and more productive, and they brought forth a record harvest of wheat for local consumption. The children of the kingdom grew strong and tall, went to a cooperative school, and gradually turned the kingdom into a model democracy with no economic or sexual injustice and low infant mortality rates. For his part, the prince was captured by an angry mob and stabbed to death with pitchforks outside the palace. As new investment money poured in from all over the world, the farmers remembered Esmeralda's generous gift of straw and rewarded her with numerous chests of gold. When all this was done, the diminutive man in the funny hat laughed and said, "That is how you turn straw into gold." Then his expression became menacing. "Now that I have done my work, you must fulfill your part of the bargain. You must give me your firstborn child." Esmeralda shot back at him. "I don't have to negotiate with anyone who would interfere with my reproductive rights." The vertically challenged man was taken aback by the conviction in her voice. Deciding on a change in tactics, he said slyly, "Fair enough, dearie. I'll let you out of the bargain if you can guess what my name is." "All right," said Esmeralda. She paused a second, tapped her chin with her finger, and said, "Would your name be, oh, I don't know, maybe Rumplestiltskin?" "Ah!" shrieked the man of non-standard height. But how did you know my name?" She replied, "You're still wearing your name badge from the Little People's Empowerment Seminar." Rumpelstiltskin screamed in anger and stamped his foot, at which point the earth cracked open and swallowed him up in a rush of smoke and sulphur. With her gold, Esmeralda moved to California to open a birth control clinic, where she showed other women how not to be enslaved by their reproductive systems and lived to the end of her days as a fulfilled, dedicated, single person. Well, that one could be a bit controversial in the United States these days. Definitely not the version of Rumpelstiltskin you remember from Grimm's fairy tales. And yeah, that one definitely hits in 2024. If you liked this version of Rumpelstiltskin by James Finn Garner, be sure to give that like button a little tickle. Leave me a thumbs up or a happy face if you're still here and if you had a chuckle. Also, if you enjoy content of a bookish nature, nature videos, or my crazy cats once a week, make sure you give that subscribe button a boom and turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload content that may be of interest to you. Until next time, remember, politically correct bedtime stories, James Finn Garner. You may really enjoy picking up a copy of this if you need a chuckle. It's an easy read. And until next time, take care.